Hello, hello, Dr. Chip here at Natural Health, and we'll be talking about learning, kind of the science and health this week. My section is going to be kind of short and brief, but again, learning comes from having an open mind, and I want you to exercise that. I mean, kids back when you were a kid, or kids in general, they have more of an open mind. Their mind's like a sponge, and so they can really collect all that information and they can learn in a very good way. Now, a lot of times when we grow up, we get kind of these different, you would say, beliefs or thoughts, and we kind of get closed-minded. We get a little too biased of other aspects. So I just encourage you to keep an open mind and really learn some different aspects of health. So how does our body function? So you can kind of talk about the different processes, the different things that our body does. So, for instance, breathing. You wouldn't be thinking about your breath until I said breathing, and now you're thinking about your breath, and you're thinking about how much am I breathing, what's going on. But after I start talking more and more, you're going to forget about that, and something is going to be controlling or regulating that. That's the same thing with digestion. Again, it'll keep regulating itself more and more, and we don't even have to think about it. It's something that just happens naturally, such as heart rate, blood flow, relaxation, and the big one is healing. Again, when you get a cut on your hand, it's not the Band-Aid that heals it, it's not the Neosporin that heals it, it's not the ointment, it's not the cream, it's your body. Your body knows exactly how to heal itself when we have some kind of illness or something going on. And so a lot of these things you don't have to think about. Again, if you really try really hard to relax, you're not going to be able to relax. You have to let go. And so that's the one thing that we need to understand, is that there's something more to this process that happens all the time in our bodies that we're not even aware of or conscious of, but it really helps us to actually heal, self-heal, and self-regulate. So what is this the system that is capable of doing these things that are kind of unconscious of us? And so you would say is that it's the autonomic nervous system. And what that means is that we have many different systems in our body that are controlled by this automatic process. We don't have to think about it, it just happens. So it's the controller and coordinator of body systems that work unconsciously, meaning that we don't have to think about it. It's something that just goes on naturally. And so when the ANS, or the autonomic nervous system, is in balance, then we can self-heal and self-regulate. But when it's out of balance, we cannot. And so like Dr. Mark explained yesterday, that when we eat different foods, our nutrition is off, our gut lining gets kind of weakened, and we can start having these emotional swings, our brains are affected. It's because our autonomic nervous system is off. We've stressed our gut so much that now it's affecting our brain in a way. Now we can't control very many things. We're giving too much energy to different systems and depleting energy from other systems. So you could say is that if we're eating the wrong foods and our digestion needs a lot of energy, we're pulling away a lot of energy from the immune system. And then that goes on and on more and more, that if we don't have a balance of energy, then we're capable of getting dis-ease or illness. So it's always important that we're really helping to make sure that we're kind of regulating that stress. And the stress can come from three different things. It can come from nutrition or chemicals, a physical trauma, or kind of repetitive emotion stuff or injuries, and then the thoughts and emotions. And so if we're not really keeping up with those, again, our autonomic nervous system really goes haywire. We need a balance. It either goes too far one way, it can be very tense, kind of our freeze, fight, or flight system, or it can go the other way too much, where we're resting and relaxing too much. We almost don't have enough energy to get out of bed. So there's always a balance in everything that we do, and when we are in balance, the autonomic nervous system can work properly, so you're able to self-heal and self-regulate. But you may be asking, well, what powers the autonomic nervous system? There's got to be something behind that too. Well, there is. There's an intelligence within us. And that might sound kind of weird or different, But again, you have to think about it. We go from kids to adults, and usually there's a stopping point. We don't have to think about it. We have plenty of things that happen, and at a certain point we hit a certain height, or we hit kind of a regulated weight. But there's always something that's building our tissues up. And so from very young, we're building up these different organs, these different systems, you could say, and it's all being regulated by some kind of, you would say, intelligence to help keep everything together. And it's actually functioning in a way that's very, very good for us to, you would say, evolve. Now it coordinates all the systems, and all the systems are made of all the cells. So we think of ourselves as one thing, but we are made of many of trillions of cells. And so this intelligence has helped keep all those cells together, so we are able to function and make it seem like we're one thing, but we're actually many things. And so that is the end of my talk. I hope you got something out of this. I hope that you kind of opened your mind and kind of understood that really health is coming from something within, not something without. So we need to stop, or I guess you could say, is that we need to be more aware of how powerful we really are, and that if we're doing the right things, we don't need something outside of us to heal. But again, we have to obey certain things, such as eating the right foods, moving the right way, getting some sunlight, and again, really making sure that the noggin or the brain isn't having all these different thought processes or different emotions that could be affecting our autonomic nervous system in that way. So, the health shops next week will entail helping kids succeed in school. You can always follow us at Instagram and Facebook on Natural Health Quincy IL, and YouTube and Brighteon at Natural Health Quincy. Like us, love us, do whatever you want. 217-228-2040 is how to contact us, and we're located at 2000 Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois. Thanks for watching, and again, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Have a good one. Thanks.